name is Lily, and you're watching Lily TV, the amazing place where you too can find the tools to build a great business. And today you're in for such a treat because we are with the one and only Stephen Gillen, and he is the upcoming author of the book, The Billionaire Mindset, Breaking the Brick Walls, and he owns 3 companies in construction and social media and IT. So thank you so much for coming on our show, Lily TV.
Thanks, Lily, as well. Do you know what? It's a real honour to be here. You do great work, and I love the work you do because it's about giving. It's about transforming lives, helping, solving problems. For me, that is what it's always been about as well. I'm really happy to be here, Lily. Thank you.
I am so thrilled to have you here because you have a wealth of experience and you have such an amazing background as well. So can you tell us a little bit about how you have created these amazing businesses and how did you get there?
Well, I suppose, I come from a quite challenging, impoverished background, if you want to call it that. It was the truth, and it was very challenging, but there was something always in me that kind of had to go forward, and and kind of had a belief and kind of knew I could do something. That was coupled with we had to, we really had to, which was gave a lot of emphasis. I suppose the thing is, it's hard work and it's belief. And you know what? If I was to say something now, looking back with hindsight, a great gift and a way to keep it simple is, it's really good if you can see through the noise of things, which is people, places, things, distraction. It's a constant bombardment of that. What that means in a sense is, you have to know yourself. You have to know what you really want, what's important to you. You have to be able to see it, and then you kind of do the work steadily. Obsessively is a good, if you can find that. You might not find that at the start, but if you can find that, that's a really good tool. And you work towards it is a really, which is the truthful part of it, it certainly was for me.
And if I was, let's say, a business owner, or if I was someone who simply wanted to start a business, and I had no idea where to start, where would you recommend that I would start in terms of building a business? How can I start?
Well, do you know what? Everyone in a sense has wonderful ideas, and that's really cool. It really is. The reality behind that and the action and the process of actually getting there is a whole world of difference. And I've always found what has aided me is seeing the real reality of things. Not a version that other people thought was right or what you've seen on telly, but the real truth. Because when you get that, then you have a chance to manipulate events yourself, whatever, into getting where you want to get. And that was quite important. I suppose it's quite solitary in a way. If you have a dream, getting there is a lonely business, and it is a mental game all the time. It is, because you have to get, it's like that, what I'm saying about seeing through the noise. Many people will push and pull you and try and take you away from what you actually should be doing and trying to fulfill your potential. This is a cornerstone of, you must find that to be able to get somewhere, or you'll constantly go around in circles. That's a good place to start, and then, one of the reasons, I suppose, why so many startups fail, and the statistics are quite high, I believe, is because we have this great dream and this great vision, and there's no reason why we shouldn't have that. There's really not. But when it comes to real life situations, there's a lot of learning involved. Learning, time, and all that is money when you have to learn your craft. And sometimes we don't have that money. The reality is when we're a startup, we beg and borrow wherever we can to try and do what we can, right? And we have to be quite wise, but not having the experience to go with that wisdom, you're always going to make mistakes. And that's good to learn. I suggest you make more mistakes and make them quick, get them out of the way. But that's the bit which is hard, which takes many people out of the game. Persistence is a real thing. Belief, is another thing. And you have to look at the reality, and if I was to put it in a simple word, it's going to be quite painful, and you need a high pain threshold. But if you can get over that, anyone can really get to their dreams. I mean, that is the truth of it.
And how can someone use, the ideas from your book, from the Billionaire Mindset, into their business, and how have you used it into your business?
Do you know what? This was a fascinating part of it, because I've sat in many meetings. I've been lucky enough to sit with many entrepreneurs, really clever, really cool, really really skilled, academic in all different areas, with some wonderful ideas, and the more experienced CEOs and directors and stuff like that, and I've spoken to them, and one of the things I've said that has a resonance was, do you know what, for me it was not so much all the the clever business stuff that was the breakthroughs as such. It was more the internal breakthroughs that really moved me forward. And they all agree. They say, Steve, you know what? You're so right. That's my experience as well. So when you think it's outside, it's not. It really starts inside, which is what I love about business, because it is developing yourself to become that person that you see. And the road and the twists and turns in the middle are what make this happen, and you will break through, but concentrate on your own character, which is hard work, which is doing extra, which is studying more, which is more discipline, which is sacrificing more. Really obvious things, but they need to be applied, and it needs to be consistent. That's a real key.
And for businesses that have already started, for example, and they simply want to take their business to the next level, what kind of ideas can they use from your experience of, owning 3 companies, of, making them bigger, or from the ideas that you got from from this book that you're writing, the Billionaire Mindset? What can they use so that they can take their business to the next level?
Thanks, Lily. Yeah. That's a really good question, and I'm sure all the business owners, this is one that they're constantly weighing all the time, because this is the order of the day in business. How can we make this better? What's different? How can we go forward in a good way and add value and solve problems? One of the things that I found is, because we're in a digital revolution, the internet's so widespread, and the knowledge is there, and you can reach people on the other side of the world, at the flick of a button. That's a really, really powerful tool. And all the people that I've studied, all the billionaires in the book, we have a YouTube channel, Top 9 World's Elite Stories, which makes documentaries and videos on the world's top 9 most powerful business empires in the world's top 9 industries. That's all the way through from finance, health and beauty, construction, film, music and books. It's been quite a journey going through all that. I've learned so much, and I continue to all the time. And one of the things that all these massive businesses kind of understood was the power of the media. The power of the media was key to be able to get your message across to people and deliver it in the right way. And the truth is, most of it was always based on just what Lily do, and what I had to learn and understand, that it's actually about people. It's actually about people, it's about transforming lives, and, and the benefits that come from that, for everyone when you do that. So, there's YouTube, which is a great tool. We use that ourselves. There's great rewards and benefits from that. You don't have to be that technically minded as such. It's something you can learn, but it's free, and you can get really good at that, and you can really enjoy it, and it can apply to any industry, and you can put it out there, and you can get an audience straight away, and the good thing about that process is when you start on your shoestring budget, it will be a bit addictive in the way you'll know it's something for you, and you'll learn more, and you'll go into more social media like Facebook, advertise and stuff like that, which is not the earth, but can really give back good rewards for a startup on a shoestring budget who's trying to get clients, who's trying to get some kind of branding going, do you know what I mean? Who's trying to adjust their products, build their business systems, and their employees and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And what I've learned from you earlier, before the interview, was that you were telling me that in business it's all about giving, right? Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, but it would be, right. This was the thing, you see. I suppose in a way, me included, is life. Society, for what it's not life, it's society really. For whatever reason, has this programming thing of, we're not good enough, or we haven't enough money, or we're not educated enough. All these limits, and it's nonsense. We make the belief, and the belief makes us. You have to get rid of these blocks, because what we are really is infinite possibility. That's what we are. And I know that I really do know and believe that we can be anything that we want to be, that we see, we obsess, and we work steadily towards. I'll always stand by that. Anything, it's kind of see, achieve, and become. And I've always gone with that, and I still go with that today, because I know it to be a truth, and I see the evidence of it in my life and other people's lives around me. So the giving is, when you give and you are a good person, with the energy that brings and all that stuff, we are creators. We are creators. You get up in the morning, you make your bed, you are creating. You make a dinner, you are creating. You have children, you are creating. We are creators. This is the thing. So when you are creating good stuff, and you can harness into that stuff within you, that we all have them gifts and stuff like that, in a giving way, through that you get a meaningful life. And I believe life has a filter, and it responds to you when you do the right things consistently. This is my experience.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. And in fact, I think in business, it's all about giving value, right?
Yeah.
So the way you are currently giving value for example, in one of your media businesses, is by creating content, right?
Yeah.
By creating the kind of content that business owners like to learn from. And this is how you manage to build your social media channel.
Yeah.
The 9 top world elites, am I right?
Yeah, world's top 9 elite stories.
Yeah, to have so many subscribers. And the thing is that once you have a lot of subscribers to your channel, then you get traffic to your website. You get people looking at your website, and then you can, increase the number of people that you can serve through your service, right?
Quite easily. I mean, it really is an astronomical tool. What I would say about it is, it's like anything. You have to learn, you have to adjust, you have to make your mistakes, you have to get up, and you have to grow. But if you're that kind of person who really has that in you and really believes it and is willing to put the work in, there is no reason why you should not be everything that you see you wish to be, and more. And that is a great tool, because it's really, really shoestring stuff, but you can put wonderful stuff out, really creative, reach a really large audience, and you can really create really good stuff right there, right then. And you can do that, anywhere. It's an excellent tool, Yeah.
And actually, what I love about when you are speaking, when you're creating content on media, what happens is you end up meeting a lot of really exciting people, right?
You do, yeah. It's a real joy.
This is how you met, me. This is how you met Harry, my partner.
Yeah.
This is how you met us with Speakers Are Leaders.
Yeah.
And every single time that you're creating content, that your voice is heard out there, whether it's on a YouTube channel, or whether it's in person, whether you're creating a book and you have your written message, right? Then the customer has the opportunity to engage with your content and to come back for more. Because once they have seen you speak in one way or another, they're always looking for more information, right? Because we are in the information age. And the more the more you give, the more content you give, the more they want it to absorb it and to take it. And this is how I've come to speak as well. Because for years, I could say for 5 years, I used to be terrified of speaking. And it was only like a year and a half ago when I decided that I was going to speak out and I was going to become an international speaker. That, like 11 months later, I became an international speaker. And now I'm speaking in countries around the world, in Peru and Singapore and also in London. And, in front of crowds of, let's say, 2,000 people or more. And I could never have seen this possible. In the same way, if you're watching, maybe you're thinking, like, how can I get started? I only have, 1 subscriber. I have no subscriber whatsoever. I don't have a YouTube channel whatsoever. You're thinking, how can I do this? Well, there are 2 very simple ways that you can start. You can start by speaking, by coming to our Speakers, Our Leaders workshop, where you can learn how to speak. And then you can come to Gillen's, you can learn from Stephen Gillen, how to create a subscriber base so that more people are engaged with your message, and then so more people are interested in, buying from you. And this is really what we want, right?
Yeah, Harry Sardinis, he's doing wonderful work, and you, Lily, they really are. There's an event at the Hilton in July. There'll be people there, 8-figure millionaires, not 6-figure, 8-figure. There's a really people with a proven track record who have a wealth of experience, and there are wonderful skills there which are needed in business. And there is no question that these skills you have to build up in business. It's a constant building process, and when you're adding them skills to your skill set, you do enhance what you do astronomically. This is my experience as well. And of course you get to network with some really cool people, and that is the whole world as well. Honestly, it's the whole world, because you need the right people to help you at the right time, and if you're someone hardworking with a good idea who knows that they have a value to their life and wants to make a difference, you need to be around other people like that, because as you're looking for them, they are looking for you. That is my understanding. I mean, I've always, it's quite painful, but it's so rewarding. I would never change it. And I know that through this, enterprise, entrepreneurship, all this stuff, it makes a real difference, for people, for transforming lives, create more jobs, to give people a chance who wouldn't really have understood themselves. We all have a message. We all have skills, Lily. We all have something to give. If you're sitting there and you think you don't, that's rubbish. It's just the timing in people's lives is the only difference. There was a time I sat there in the corner, I thought, I can't get up in the morning. But it doesn't have to be like that. You program yourself in the right way with the right people, and you will keep going forward and achieving wonderful things that you never thought that, was possible.
Yes, I'm getting inspired as Stephen is speaking. I don't know about you. So the thing that I find most interesting about Stephen is not only that he is the upcoming author of the book Billionaire Mindset, and that he's applying all these techniques in his companies, and he's now building a YouTube channel with a really successful number of subscribers, and he keeps going up and up and up, and people are getting more and more interesting. It's not only that, but what's really interesting about Stephen is that he has a very interesting background. So can you tell us, how did you get about kind of like going from where you were before to how you became so successful now?
So that is a really good question. Thank you for asking that. You come up with wonderful questions. Because this is important. Because we all have no one is born really skilled in anything, right? We're all born naked, and there's a really painful mistakes and learning process before we start to find something, right? For some people that can take a long time, many years. I mean, it was the case for me in a sense, just like anyone else. But I think there was, all I can say is the truth of it, because I'm always brutally honest. And for me, there come to a point in my life, it was like a light switch just going on. And what it was basically was I wasn't prepared to do certain things anymore. I wasn't prepared to settle for second best. I wasn't prepared to put up with how miserable I felt about things, because I knew there was more. I wasn't prepared to be, humiliated by people in little subtle, silly ways that I knew wasn't right, or they weren't no better than me because they wasn't. And it was like an internal thing. Do you know, it's the simplest way I can put it. And from that point, I haven't stopped going forward. And there is a kind of obsessiveness. I always go back to this because I believe we have this in us, all of us, and we have to find it. And it's kind of an energy. And when it's focused in the right way, that takes us over many mountains. Because there are hard times along the way, but that will keep you in good stead.
Yeah.
If you find stuff like this, it's quite important.
I mean, I'll tell you about myself. I came to London 14 years ago with €100 in my pocket.
Yeah, wow.
And now I'm speaking internationally, and I own my own property, and I'm very happy with my partner Harry, and we've created an international workshop that is transforming hundreds of lives, and it's set to transform millions of people's lives around the world. And we're speaking internationally, and we're collaborating with people that we've never considered collaborating with before, including yourself. And we're meeting extraordinary people. We're having a lot of fun, and we're on our way to share our mission with thousands and thousands of people who also want to live the life that they want. And we have already empowered hundreds of people to, for example, reduce their work hours from 60 hours a week to 21 hours a week and make the same money, or to close major contracts even after they've struggled for many years to even to close any, and to sell 5 yachts, for example, the day after our workshop, and to suddenly gain the confidence of starting their YouTube channel after having thought about it for many years, or to write their own book after kind of like thinking about it for 10 years. This is the kind of thing we've managed to do. And you've had a very wonderful, kind of like rocky road as well, right?
This is the thing, that I'm really passionate about, because, it's that kind of thing that you say, if I can do it, anyone can. And, it is the truth, because, on a very challenging background. And, one of the things I suppose, another thing is, that I've noticed is people only kind of pay attention to the finished product of an entrepreneur. What they're not seeing is what they've overcome, which is where the real magic is. All the rejections, the treacheries, the doubts, the hard times, the empty bank accounts, the loneliness, the constant worry. But it is so rewarding, and we are here as people, I believe, to learn and develop. When you put that in whatever you wish to do, when you put on top of that adding value to people's lives, you're really onto something. When you can find your kind of slipstream, as it were, of where you're going and where you will be pulled to, then you will find a steady pace which will start to really bear results. I can promise you.
And you mentioned earlier about how basically if you want to be in business, right, you'll have some competition, right? So you were saying that if you want to be competing with your competitors, what you want to be doing is
well, a lot is said about all the clever stuff, and some of it is clever. It's not that it's anyone's any cleverer than anyone else. This is the myth of it. It's just basically about hard work and having an understanding. I've kind of learned, if someone says to me what's clever, I'd say learning quickly by your mistakes and having a great aptitude, being able to put your hand to many things. That's clever, because I meet so many people who are really academically gifted in such an area. You won't touch them in that area, but they're not rounded people. Out of their field, they're quite lost in a sense. They're not rounded, and another thing I found by my studies, my experience with all the billionaires that I've studied, is some of the top ones are not necessarily academically gifted. What they do have is knowing how the life puzzle works and being able to pull that together in a wonderful way, consistent way, and keep moving it forward. So it's clever is a misleading term. So to keep it simple, say your competitor is getting up at 8 o'clock, then you get up at 6 o'clock. Say he works 10 hours a day, then you work 14 hours a day. Say he's making 10 phone calls a day, you make 15. Because keeping it simple is a really good thing, because you need the answers quickly. You do have to work all the technical stuff, but you have to make it manageable in your head to get an answer quick. That's how I've always used it. And the simple part of that is to achieve extraordinary things takes extraordinary behaviour. And that is an example, real life example, of how to apply extraordinary behaviour. Do more than what your competitor is doing, and it will tell, I promise you. It has to.
Yeah, I'm so inspired by what you said. Basically, Stephen is trying to say that nobody will outwork him. So, right? So, if you...
It's got pain, but I wouldn't change it. It's a certain kind... And if you're an entrepreneur, business, and you are built for this, it will tell. Good luck to you if you are, because it's a wonderful journey. But it's not for everyone. But one of the things I would always say with people is we must try, right?
Yeah.
Try it, give it a go. Maybe it is for you, maybe it's not. But if you don't try, you're never going to know. And that's one thing about me, for sure.
Yeah. And I will add to what you said that, if you create not only a hard work kind of ethic and the habit, right?
Yeah.
The routine and the habit of outperforming, of, being at your best and, making the extra effort, waking up early and so on, but also combining it with a really clever technique, which is branding, when you kind of brand what you're doing into a structure, into a framework, into a model, into something that in a way creates a blue ocean for you. It creates your own thing that then people can follow, and then they become interested in what you have to offer, and they understand it. And the reason why they understand it is because it makes sense. Whereas when you have a lot of blah blah blah, and you're not putting it into a system, you're not putting it into a model, and you're not branding it, what happens is that people forget what you said, right? So they'll be like, oh yeah, that was good content. But the fact is, you can ask them tomorrow. They have no idea what you said. But if you came up with a system, like the smart system, the power system, the whatever system that is yours and it hasn't been branded already, then you can totally create a blue ocean for you. And then we can make it easier for people not only to remember you, but also to pay you more for what you're doing, even if it's could be the same as someone else who simply has come up with a similar stuff, but it's not branded. I mean, come on, Robert Kiyosaki, who didn't know that if you are, you need to go from employee to self-employed to business owner and to investor, right? Who didn't know that? But because he put it into such a clever structure, and he wrote a book about it, and then he, made it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the fact that he did that, in the same way, you can also do this. You can also create what you're doing into a structure, and then people are more likely to pay you more. Of course, if you do it right? If you do it right. And that's what billionaires do, right? That's what.
Yeah, you have to tune into Lily more with this stuff. She's really specialist in branding. We do that. It's really, really key. There are many different parts of the puzzle, and that's definitely one of them. Is branding. Lily's wonderful at that. So tune in to hear more, about the branding from Lily. But yeah, all successful people, billionaires, that you have rituals. I have them, and you know what? You have to build them up as you go along, because it's kind of the thing, you find what works for you, and you're out there and you're searching and you're looking to try and make things better, but you will find something that works for you, and you'll keep doing it. And this is what they keep building out. I've always, I'm terrible at sleeping, right? You laugh, it's funny. My family would laugh that, oh, no, you're not, they say. But the truth is I am. And it's kind of really weird in the sense, it doesn't matter when I go to bed or what I do, I'll get 4 hours sleep at night or whatever. So in the end, I accepted it and said, okay, no problem. Because I turn challenges around on their head, and I look for the gift, because there's something to be learned. It's okay. It's quite painful. I'm not feeling good about that, but there's something here to learn. What is it? Let's find it. This is what I do. I don't care how it is or where it comes. That was one of them. So I said, okay, all right, it's kind of a penance, but do you know what? I'm going to go with it. I'll use it because I'll have more time to do more work and other stuff, and I've slept enough anyway. Do you know? So it was kind of like that. And do you know, I'll do affirmations. I'll meditate. I try and get to the gym when I can, but I do lists. I need structures because it scientifically proves you do lists, you will get more done. You have a structure. You're not wading about or anything like that. And time management is absolutely crucial. Especially when you have to balance things like family, children, work, study, different businesses and all this. It's incumbent that you must get good at that. And that alone changes everything.
Yes.
It'll change the whole environment, that when you work stuff like this out. And that's the rituals I'm talking about. So you implement them, your life is really rich because of it.
And how do you implement the time management aspect of it into your business to maximize returns or results?
Well, it's like I said, in a sense you have to work it out for yourself, because I don't know what industry you may be going in or what your targets or goals are, but for me, my experience is because I have so much to juggle, and I'm doing a further degree as well, which I do in spare time. Wow. Yeah, so I have children. It's really a lot. So my life is not normal in that sense, and I don't work. I have a lifestyle which is around work really, and that suits me. So I may get a few hours here, a morning there, a day there, a weekend here, once a month, and I take that as time to rest. One thing I do, which is part of my little ritual, is I'll make sure that every day I have 2 hours, just 2 hours, where I don't think, definitely not about work. And I could be thinking about anything. I could be thinking about music. I could be, thinking about a beautiful moment with my children in the park. I forcefully do that. What I'm saying about the mind game, about programming your mind in a healthy, efficient way. I mean, the one thing they said about that G-Smart thing about, successful executives, successful executives was one word, was success was positively linked to efficiency, was the word. Efficiency. So if you think about efficiency and build everything around that, that's a good place to be going. And time management is a real part of that, because you don't want other people to waste your time like you don't want to waste your own time. Then you get more time back for the people you love and to rest and the things that you need to do, which is going to enhance your performance more.
Yeah, I so agree. And actually a few years ago, I made a study. I studied, the Billionaire's Mindset as well. And it has made a really massive, massive, massive difference to my life, because I used to be very negative. I used to be very critical. I used to really think about myself, in a critical way, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worth it, that, I didn't deserve certain things. So all of that had a massive impact on me. And then when I started reading about the Billionaire Mindset, then it really has made a big difference. And this is exactly why I highly recommend that you grab Stephen's book as soon as it is available. And it's going to make a massive impact in your life in the same way that it has done for Stephen, and it has enabled him to build these amazing companies, and to keep going, and to keep raising interest in his companies from the people that are following him. And there are more and more subscribers that keep adding themselves to the channel that he mentioned earlier. So this is exactly why I think it's a really, really good idea that you follow the Billionaire Mindset with Stephen Gillen.
Sure.
And one thing that I would also recommend is that you come to our workshop, which is Speakers Are Leaders, which will enable you to meet amazing people like Stephen. And not only amazing people like Stephen, but people of a great caliber, people that are interested in personal development, people who want to take their business further, people who simply want to be a part of a great network. And the fact is that your network is your net worth. And it's not me who came up with this. I cannot remember who came up with this, but I can tell you that it is so true, because the more people you meet who are up to something big, the more they can open the kind of doors that you never even considered. And I'll tell you this, that I created this vision board.
Sure.
And in this vision board, I put that I really wanted to speak on stage with Armand Moore, my multimillionaire marketing coach. And what happened was that he's currently due to speak at my event in Speakers Are Leaders on the 28th and 29th of July in London, in the Hilton Hotel. And I can tell you that I thought about it, I was dreaming about it. I was like very excited about it. I visualized it, and I can tell you that it just still really feels like it's not true, but it's like so exciting, and it's impacting not only my life, but the lives of the people that are going to be there. So you simply have to be there, because you're going to learn from someone who has sold 100 million online. Right? So, who doesn't want to learn from someone who has sold 100 million online?
Yeah.
And Steven is going to be there, which is going to be very exciting. And he, you can network with him, and you can ask him exactly how he has managed to build the subscriber base, and how you can collaborate with him as well. So that's pretty cool as well. So, can you tell us how can people contact you, and if you have something to offer?
Yeah, well, YouTube, our media channel, is really, really rewarding. There's wonderful content on there. There's hundreds of thousands of views. We're in 120 countries worldwide at the moment. That's growing. It's a real privilege, to offer the content that we do for people, and it's all free, but you can contact us there. Obviously the book, it's going to be coming out in a few months, and you'll have an opportunity to get that. You have an opportunity to get me or my team. We have a great team of people there. Lily's there as well. Harry Sardinas. It's very global. It's very international. All these people can really, really help you. So if an easy way is to go and have a look at the channel and be entertained while you're doing it. And there's emails, phone numbers, all that kind of stuff there. It's top 9 world elite stories, and I really thank you for the opportunity to be able to try and offer something to your life. Really cool.
Yes, and as soon as the book is available, then we can put the link below so that you can also grab it, so that you can transform your life. And I would like to say a big thank you to Steven Gillen with his Billionaire Mindset book and the 9 top world stories.
Yes,
9 top world stories in YouTube. So if you are watching right now, then please subscribe, comment, and like. And I'm going to catch you next time. And again, this is Lily, and you're watching Lily TV, the amazing place where you too can find the tools to build a great business. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.
bye.